She was so brave and so giving and so loving.
A CAL FIRE captain who was murdered will be laid to rest today. Her wife, who's accused of her murder, will be making her court appearance very soon.
Plus, housing is expensive. How San Diego Unified plans to help its staff live somewhere affordable.
Severity of wildfires that we've been experiencing across California has only gotten worse.
New fire hazard maps show the majority of San Diego is at high risk. What that means for you.
A new study shows genetic diversity in plants and animals is declining. Find out why that's concerning many researchers.
Diagnosed with Parkinson's. We'll tell you why Craig McLean built a sawmill to help at-risk boys.
It's 6 a.m. on Tuesday, March 25th, and you're up with CBS 8. Yeah, a lot to get to here on a Tuesday, so I'm glad you're with us. 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Irampour, and let's get you ready for today. Meteorologist Evan Irani with a check of that forecast, and it got really hot in some places yesterday.
Upper 80s out there across some of our far eastern valleys versus what we saw along the coast, which was much more mild in the cooler, kind of cloudier range. And it's going to be another day like that where we start off the morning with fog out by the water. Temperatures this afternoon along the water not expected to surpass about 70 or 71 degrees versus what we see across our inland valleys, upper 70s, low 80s. Eastern valleys could easily surpass that, making it to the mid 80s. The mountains are going for 80 this afternoon in the deserts. Boy, 96 degrees. Take a live look outside. This is from UC San Diego facing east where we see a lot of that fog to kick off the morning. Sunrise about 45 minutes out. Coming up, we're going to talk more about what to expect throughout the rest of the day today as a final day of heat comes about, and then a big cool down for the remainder of the week with the influx of more cloud cover. We'll have more the details on all that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Evan, thank you so much. Later today, the CAL FIRE captain killed at her home in Ramona last month will be honored by friends, family, loved ones.
Rebecca Marodi's funeral will be held in Temecula as her wife sits behind bars in Santee, accused in Rebecca's murder. CBS 8's Regina Yerita live outside Las Colinas Detention Center where Yolanda Marodi was recently booked there. Regina?
That's right. Good morning, guys. We know that 53-year-old Yolanda Marodi is being held here at Las Colinas Detention Center in Santee, and she could be making her first court appearance as soon as tomorrow. Now, law enforcement had been searching for Yolanda since February, and San Diego County Sheriff's Department confirmed that Mexican officers actually arrested her in Mexicali. She was then handed over to U.S. Marshals at the Calexico border crossing. She's accused of allegedly killing her wife, CAL FIRE captain Rebecca Marodi, on February 17th in their Ramona home. According to an arrest warrant, Rebecca had told her wife she was leaving her and ending the marriage roughly a week before the murder. Surveillance video from the front patio captured through a Ring camera showed Rebecca running from her alleged attacker, yelling, quote, "Yolanda, please, I don't want to die." The arrest warrant also states that Yolanda was seen holding a knife with blood on her arm in that video footage. Court records obtained by CBS 8 also shows Yolanda Marodi served prison time from February 2004 to November 2013 after pleading guilty for the deadly stabbing of her first spouse. Rebecca Marodi's mother, Lorena Marodi, discovered her daughter's body and called 911. She witnessed how paramedics and law enforcement entered the house to try to save Rebecca's life. Lorena is now grieving her daughter. She expressed gratitude for the community's support following her daughter's death. She wants Rebecca to be remembered as a brave, giving, and loving with an appreciation for animals. But here's how she described her daughter. Take a listen.
Just a big heart. I mean, she was so brave and so giving and so loving. And I mean, I have woodpeckers here because she stopped and picked up a wounded one down the road, brought him home, and he apparently called his family because they're all here pecking on the trees. I mean, her love for animals was amazing.
And we're being told that Rebecca's body is finally being laid to rest. There's going to be a funeral being held in Temecula. I'm reporting in Santee. I'll send it back to you.
And today, San Diego Unified leaders will consider a proposal that would provide affordable housing for some of its faculty and staff.
The proposal aims to build housing on district-owned properties. CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside district headquarters with what would happen if all of this gets approved, Chris.
Yeah, good morning. And so they're trying to solve a problem, right? A problem that many businesses, many local governments, and yes, many school boards are facing right now in San Diego. It's expensive to live here. Wages aren't quite meeting housing costs. And so they're taking it upon themselves to try to create affordable housing for those who can't actually afford to live here with the current housing market. So they want to be able to attract and retain top teaching as well as other administrative talent. So what they are doing here is that they are considering here a goal as well as a series of proposals to provide affordable housing for 10% of its staff over the next decade. Now, that would include developing housing on district land, as well as a partnership with San Diego Community College District to establish a regional housing finance authority. When all is said and done, they believe these plans could bring more than 1,500 affordable housing units to 5 district-owned properties. That includes Eugene Brucker Education Center, the Revere Center, the Fremont Ballard Center, Instructional Media Center, and then the Commercial Street property. Now, board members say that that number, 1,500, doubles the number of educator housing projects built across California since 2002. According to the board president, they believe that these policies will ensure that their students are learning from the best educators. Now, the Board of Education going to be meeting at 5 p.m. Again, this is a series of proposals, so it'll be interesting to see how they're discussed and if there are certain components of it that are selected versus others, or if this is all, again, approved as one blanket policy. We'll have continued coverage here on our later newscasts. Eric and Netta.
Chris, thank you. New this morning, San Diego State University has implemented a hiring freeze effective immediately. School president Adela De La Torre says they're trying to reduce the budget while protecting their current workforce. She cited federal executive orders as well as budget reductions for the CSU system from the state. However, De La Torre says high enrollment demand will help them avoid severe cuts seen at other schools.
The Port of San Diego is increasing parking rates at some of their locations, but promises to keep thousands of free spaces. So we've broken it down for you here. At Spanish Landing Park, the rate will go from $1 to $2 next Wednesday, and then up to $2.50 an hour on July 1st. At the Embarcadero Marina Parks, it'll go from $1.75 to $2.50 next Wednesday. At Shelter Island, it'll be $2.25 next week and $2.50 starting July 1st. Parking at nearly a dozen other locations like Cesar Chavez Park and Harbor Island Park will remain free. Port officials say the rate increase is to meet rising demand and improve parking turnover.
Those fees going up right before the 4th of July.
Yeah, interesting how when it gets busier and busier.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Felt a little summer-like yesterday.
Yeah,
Me and the coaches were lathering on sunscreen out at the ball
field. As you should be.
It's
UV
hot.
index is starting to climb a bit, so
absolutely.
important to do. I know when I was out at the park this past weekend, I was lathering up, and I was like, I think this might be the first time this year that I've really prioritized the sunscreen. Take a look outside right now. It's still dark. We've got another about 40 minutes, just under 40 minutes, before we start to see a lot of that light come through. Current temperatures out the door in the 40s and 50s. Ramona's at 46 degrees, 55 in Mira Mesa, along with Encinitas, Del Mar, Carlsbad, Oceanside. What we see is that when those clouds roll in, especially when they roll in overnight and hang out for several hours, our overnight lows tend to stay a lot more uniform. And that's exactly what we're seeing. That cloud cover did roll in out along the coast rather early. It allowed the coastal communities to cool down very quickly in the evening. However, across our inland valleys, our mountains, our deserts, we saw some warm temperatures yesterday, and we will do so again today. Today's afternoon high is expected to come in 16 degrees warmer than average in Ramona, 15 degrees warmer than average in Borrego Springs, but out along the coast in downtown San Diego, only about 4 degrees warmer than normal. So you see that differentiation that cloud cover provides and that onshore flow provides, because when we have that cool, moist air from the ocean evaporating and clinging to the coastline, well, that's when you see 60 in La Jolla, 66 in PB, 71 in Coronado. You make your way out east to Santee and El Cajon, and that high is 81 this afternoon. So really is dependent on where you are as to what types of temperatures you'll see for this afternoon. 73 in Oceanside, 78 in Rancho Bernardo, and 85 all the way out east in Ramona. For the mountains and deserts, they'll also notice some warmth too. Campo 85, Alpine 81 this afternoon, and Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells will duel it out for the hottest temperatures in the county at 96 this afternoon. We're all going to take on a little bit of a cool down after today. Today is the standout warmest day of the week, and then we're back in the 60s starting tomorrow, lasting all the way through what looks to be the middle of next week, right around average, if not in some cases even a few degrees cooler than average. Let's check in on traffic this morning. Things have been a little foggy out there. That's the best thing to watch out for this morning is that road weather index is showing that yellow on the screen, which means that foggy conditions may need you to slow down your speeds a bit. You got one stalled vehicle on the 94 westbound, and Coronado Bridge midspan also slowing down a bit. Checking in on your border wait times. We are right now looking at a 100-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. It'll take you about an hour 40. Should be able to get across about 10 minutes faster at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. That'll be about an hour 30 across that Port of Entry.